Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying all the sessions for Customer Day today. We appreciate your attendance. Today, we're going to be in this session. We're going to be talking about some of the mobile tools for the sales and service. Michael Reyes has joined us. Michael's spent a lot of time preparing today's session. So, good afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to be here.
So we're excited about this. This is an additional thing you can add to your tool belt. If you have people that are in and out of the office a lot, the mobile tools for sales and service are really nice things you can run on your phone or your tablet without necessarily needing a full-blown connection to SAP Business One. So this is going to help you going through some of the in a mobile app to see some opportunity pipeline, create and manage some sales orders in here, access some of the real-time inventory data that's available, and also review some of the service the service calls that are out there and other documentation. Before we do this, we want to make sure everybody understands the licensing. The licensing is a little bit unique with the mobile apps. If you are a professional user or a limited CRM user, you have access through licensing to use the mobile apps. If you're not presently an SAP Business One user, there is a special license that will grant you permissions to the SAP Business One mobile users. That license fee is significantly less than a standard either professional or limited access license. But you do need to be licensed to run the mobile app through your standard licensing that you have or the additional mobile user license. If you have any questions, please contact me at my email below, or my contact number is in my email salutation. But wanted to make sure everybody understood that. Once we get started, we want you to take the survey. Your feedback's really important. We use that to guide us to improve future sessions. Content questions are good. We expect that you're going to be asking questions as we go along. So as we start moving into the session itself, we're going to be your microphones will be muted. We're going to be turning off our cameras and our microphones. There is a Q&A button on there, so please feel free to use that Q&A button to ask your questions as the session is going along. We'll have Clara Custodio joining us at the end of the recording to return what those questions are, and we'll do our best to answer them. We may not be able to answer every one, but we'll certainly answer the ones we can, and we'll follow up on the ones that we need to do a little bit more research on. So again, why don't we get started with the review and sit back and enjoy. Thank you, Michael, for your presentation. Let's get started.
Hi, today we're going to explore the mobile capabilities of the SAP Business One sales app. This app allows sales representatives to manage their activities, opportunities, quotes, orders, and more directly from a mobile device. Even without internet access, users can continue working thanks to a local SQL-like database that syncs with SAP when it's online. Before we get started, please note that the app requires a basic pre-configuration steps. For assistance with this, please reach out to the consensus team. Okay, now that I've got my mobile phone in here, we are going to connect to the B1 Sales. The app that you want to connect to is this one in here, this B1 Sales. This is a mobile app that you can download from the Google Play or from the App Store. It is free to download, and you can even run it in a test environment. Now, when I bring this up, it wants to know the database I want to connect to. So I can get a list of the different databases that I have access to in here. What I need to do is locate the one that I want to connect to and simply hit next. So now we are logging in to the Sales app. The first thing we can see in here is we have a list of our activities. Usually these are for the 5 or 6 days. If I want a full list of the activities, I can go to here and I'm going to get a full list of activities just like in Business One. From here, I can drill down to the company details for this activity. You will see that in here we have this phone icon and we can simply hit that phone icon. We are going to call the contact. So this is really nice because it is making it very easy to stay connected with our customers. We can also update some of the general information for the activity using this pencil up here. We can access and update some of the data that we have in here. Another thing we can do, we can link this activity to a document like a quotation or a sales order. We simply select the document type and then we search for the document that we want to link to. Another thing that we can do from here is if we are going to actually visit this customer, we can check in. And what this is going to do is open a Google Maps screen that is going to allow us to locate the exact address for the customer. Also, we can add some attachments in here if we have to using this plus icon up here. And we also can edit the user-defined fields that we have for this type of document. Up here, we can choose to create a follow-up activity for the one that we are reviewing, or we can close it also. Back to the main screen for the activities, we can very easily add a new activity using the plus sign up here. We simply need to add a remark, like for example, call customer. We search for a business partner from the list of of our customers. Let's select this one. And let's just review the information that is in here. In the more section, we can add the data for any user-defined fields that we can have, and we're going to create the activity. Now this activity has been synced with SAP, and we have it in here. Okay. So that's a little bit of the activities. Now you will notice that we also have in here the opportunities. These are all of the opportunities that are my opportunities on SAP. And in here, we can have access to view them as a pipeline. So we can see how many of our opportunities are in each of the stages that we have configured. Like for example, how many we have on the lead stage and the first meeting and the negotiation. And this is going to help us to know to which of these opportunities we need to pay more attention to. Like for example, this one, we're going to enter that data for that opportunity in here. And we have a couple of options in here. Like for example, we can mark it as won or lost, whatever we want to do. Or we can also add an additional stage. We can edit some of the information using the pencil. Any update that we need to do to the general data for the opportunity. We can also search in here for the lost opportunities that we have and also the ones that we have won. We can add a new opportunity. It is a fairly simple process. We set a name, a business partner, just as we did with the activity, and set all of the information and just hit create. Okay, now we go to the quotation section in here, and we're going to be able to search all of the quotations that we have on our SAP Business One. In here, we can drill down to get more data for the quotation. We can simply enter and have access to all of the data for this document. And that includes any related activity, like the one that we saw previously. We will have any attachment that this document has. We can also add new attachments, like take a picture or add any document that we have available on our mobile phone, and also all of the user-defined fields that are available for that type of document. In here, we have the content tab that we are going to be able to see all of the items that are included on this document. Here we can also update some of the data for this quotation if we need to update anything using the pencil, as we did with the previous documents. Once we have opened the editing screen, we can update any type of information from here. Another neat thing that we can do from here is, if we need to send this document to our customer, we have the option of sending a PDF. And this is going to generate a PDF document that we can send to our customer. It is going to use the standard layout that is configured on the document. Let's go back to our SAP Business One sales app. Another thing that we can do in here, we can cancel this quotation, we can duplicate this quotation, or we can copy its data to a sales order if the customer has approved this quotation. And also, talking about the sales order, we also have the section for our sales orders in here. And in here we have the same options that we just went through with the quotations. We can also have a look of the approval status. For example, let's go back to the quotations, and we can see we have some quotations that are pending to be approved. In here, we are going to be able to see the status of the documents that are still pending or rejected. Okay, I'm not going to spend much more time on the orders, because the options that we have in here are exactly the same ones as with the quotations. Moving on to the customers, this section in here for our customers is going to allow us to search the master data for our customers and also for our leads, if we had some. So we can enter the data for our customer in here, the master data. Let's go into this one, for example. And in here, we have access to all of the important information, including attachments, and also including the user-defined fields. Any UDFs that are configured, we will be able to have it here. We can call the customer. We also can call and see our contacts, any transactions that we have with this business partner. For example, sales orders. We can access also deliveries and invoices, all of the data that is related to this business partner. And also, let's go back into the same one. We have a dashboard, and this dashboard is for the data for this customer. This is going to help us give a visual look of our relationship with it. Another thing that we have in here is we can add some stars, like a rating to the customers. This is nothing like related to SAP Business One, but it's just for the B1 sales app. It will allow us to simply mark a or to define stars like a rating for the customers, so that we can see who is a good customer and who isn't such a good customer. We can create a new customer in here using this symbol in here. It is pretty simple. We are going to add a code. For example, this one, we're going to add a name. We can add a type if it's a customer or lead. We can add the contact information for it. Let's add a sales rep. Let me see. Let's add this one. We can add all of the basic information that we need to add from SAP. The same one we can create in here: the telephone, email, the addresses. This is very important. Okay, so let's hit create in here. Okay, and now our customer is created. We can search for it. We can search for a customer right here. Example, let's see, Michael. We search for the customer, and we have in here, this one is the one that we just created. Okay. Another thing that we can do from the sales app is we can go to the items section, and this, similar to the business partner, is going to show us the data for our items, sorry. And here we have the list of our items, and we can see the stock that each item has. So this is going to allow us to know how much we have in stock for each of these items. We can enter the items in here. For example, let's go into this one. We have the basic data, the price, and we have also the information for any user-defined field. We have any attachments in here, for example, photos of the item, any other PDF or anything that we need to attach to the item master data. We will have it in here. Okay, and we can see in here that we have 10 in stock, and we can enter to see in which of our warehouses are located those 10 items. Let's go back in here. We can search using this magnifying glass. So it is very simple to be able to search for the items. Now, we can also access the deliveries. And here we can filter in two ways: the ones that are overdue and all of the deliveries that are in SAP, regardless of their status. We can enter the data or the details for a delivery, and very similar to the previous documents that we have seen, we can access all of the information like the contents, the logistics, and the accounting. In this case, this is the data that we can see. You see up here, we have this little icon that is going to allow us to create a PDF for this document, just as we saw with the quotation. Now, this option is pretty much for reviewing data. We are not going to be able to create a delivery, as well as the invoice. We can search for invoices, review them, enter the details, but this is just for reviewing. And if for any reason we need to give a copy of an invoice, for example, to a customer, we can come in here and we can print a PDF of this invoice. Remember, this is going to take the standard or the default layout that is been assigned to that type of document. Let's go back to the sales app. And that is going to be pretty much all about the SAP Business One sales app. For managers or for decision makers, the SAP Business One sales app is also very useful because in here we can access some data that will allow us as a manager or a decision maker to review important information to make decisions. For example, we can go in here to our customers, the customer section, and we can enter or access the information for our customers. Let's go into this one. And we have in here, besides having the general data for the business partner or its master data, we also have this tab in here for a dashboard. And this dashboard is going to show us important information related to the behavior of this customer with us. For example, any open deliveries, customer receivables, and so on. All of this information is customizable. So we go back, and besides having that type of information related to directly to the customers, we can also have access to some KPIs and some custom reports. To access them, we go to the main menu, and in here we have these two options, the KPI and the SAP Crystal Reports. These KPIs, these are custom dashboards that we can build for the B1 Sales app. And all of this is done through SAP and just displayed on the app. We can have access to it and use it to make important decisions. We can also have access to custom reports, like for example this ones. Let's in here the reports that are going to appear are those ones that are defined as that they should be available on the sales app. Let's go into this one. The parameters in here are going to depend on each report. Let's start entering the parameters that are requested. And let's hit done. Now we have access to this report, for example, that is showing us some of the sales data for our customers. Let's go back to the app. And the capabilities that the sales app is going to give us are pretty much open, as all of the custom reports that we could need, they can be available in here. I'll walk you through how to use the SAP Business One Service app, a powerful mobile tool that helps service teams manage calls efficiently while staying connected to all the relevant data and functionality they need on the go. In this demonstration, I will take you step by step through a typical service call workflow using the app, highlighting key features and how they contribute to better service delivery. Now, to get started, I tap on the service app icon, this one right here. When I bring this up, the app will ask me to select the company I want to log into. I will get a list of companies and I will select the one that I want. Once logged in, I'm presented with simply two main sections: the tickets and the KPI screen. We'll explode the KPIs at the end. Looking at the ticket view, I can see that I have two service calls scheduled for today and one for tomorrow. One low priority and two medium priorities. Each scheduled call typically displays its priority level, time slot, and some essential details about the service requested. Here, for instance, we could normally expect to see information such as the address and the subject of the service call. To get a better idea of my route, I'm going to tap on the map icon located in the Today bar, this one right here. This feature is designed to give a visual overview of all the day's service calls, showing them by location. This will help me quickly assess how close each service call location is. These functions allow me to plan my movement efficiently and avoid unnecessary travel across the city. Now, let's focus on this call tomorrow at 6 p.m. If I want to notify them that I'm on my way, I'm going to simply tap on the phone icon, this one right here. Since the customer contact is linked to a phone number, I can call the customer directly from within the app. Now let's suppose that I'm already parked outside the customer's location for this service call. Before stepping out of the vehicle, I want to open the service call on the app and take a moment to review all the data, just like I would in a real service situation. In this view, I can normally see the equipment that needs attention, the serial number, and depending on the setup, the customer's address and contact information might appear here. These details help me prepare for what I'll need and give me the chance to call ahead if necessary, or just double check that I have the right tools and materials before entering. Now that I've reviewed the basics, the first thing I want to do is check in. This step helps mark the official start of the service call, so I tap the check-in button. Normally, the app will ask me to confirm, and it will record both the exact time and my geolocation using the phone's GPS to log where and when I began the service. This is especially useful for tracking service time accurately and keeping a clear record for both internal teams and the customer. Once I'm checked in, I can start looking deeper into the details of the service call. In this case, the service call is for a server that has reported performance issues, and the note indicates that additional memory might be required. Here, I also notice that I've been given 30 minutes to complete the job. I can check if a service contract is attached to this call, so I tap to open it and review the terms. Even though we might not see the full breakdown here, a typical contract would specify the hours of coverage, whether it includes travel time, and if it covers parts and labor or not, which is something important I'll need to keep in mind for billing later. Before I move forward, I also check the service history for this server. If it had been serviced before, I will see previous tickets listed here with notes and resolutions details from past visits. A useful way to track recurring issues or confirm that this is a new request. After reviewing the contract and checking the service history, let's continue with the visit. Let's assume I've already entered the customer's building and spoken to Bob, who directs me to the service that need attention. Once I'm in front of the equipment, I want to confirm that I'm about to work on the correct server unit, especially since many companies have multiple systems in the same area. To do that, I use the app's built-in scanner feature, this one right here. I tap the scan icon, which activates my phone's camera. I point it at the barcode or serial tag on the server, and the app reads and verifies the serial number. Even if we're not actually scanning during this demo, this is where the process would take place. Once confirmed, I tap the Update the Service call, ensuring that everything I do from now on is accurately linked to this specific server. Before getting to work, I also want to check if there are any attachments included in the service call. Here I tap the attachment sections where we might find useful documents like a PDF for the service technical manual, past service records, or internal notes. In this case, I see no service notes. Having access to these documents directly from the app makes it easy to work efficiently without needing to go back to the office or search through email. Now that I've reviewed the attachments and confirmed I'm working on the correct equipment, I can go ahead and start the actual service. In this example, the issue report that the server requires additional memory. So I begin it by opening up the unit and performing initial inspections. Let's assume I find that the system is indeed low on memory, and I confirm that an upgrade is necessary to meet performance requirements. Before making any changes, it's always a good idea to document the current condition of the server. So I use a camera function within the app to take a photo. Let's pretend I'm pointing the camera at the server now. I take the picture, tap Use Photo, and label it with a name. Then I tap Done, and the photo gets saved as an attachment to this service call. Once the photo is saved, I proceed to install the new memory into the server. After completing the upgrade, I run a quick system check. Now that the issue has been resolved, it's time to start closing out the service call and documenting the resolution. First, I enter the resolution node. I tap Edit, type in the description of the work done, and once I have finished, I will hit Done. This keeps a clear record of what was done and how it was resolved. Next, since the service contract doesn't cover parts or labor, I need to create a sales order. I tap the three-dot menu, select Sales Order, and hit the plus sign to create a new document. The customer, employee, and data info and date info are all pre-filled. I will add only 2 items. First, I search for memory and select the memory chip. Then, I will search for service, and I will select my hourly service labor charge. Once I'm finished, I will tap Done. Then, I will tap Create, and the system generates a sales order linked directly to this service call. Next, I will tap Checkout, which records my final time and location. Now, I tap Next. I will include the sales order in the closure process and move on to get Bob's signature. I tap Signature, hand the device to Bob, and he will sign. Then, I will confirm that I want to close the ticket by hitting Done, and I will confirm the closing of the ticket. Doing this will close the ticket and complete the service attended. Back on the main screen, I see that this service call is now closed. Now, before wrapping up, let me show you the KPI dashboard, a mobile version of the familiar HANA dashboard. After refreshing, I can view real-time metrics specific to my user. 3 tickets closed, my service success rate, my most service items, a list of top customer visits, and a trend graph showing service call activity over recent months. And that concludes this guided demo of the SAP Business One service app. As you've seen, the app makes it simple to manage service calls from start to finish, helping you stay organized, accurate, and efficient on the go.
Well,
Thank you so
very
much.
Michael. Great job.
Thank you.
Good
Yes.
afternoon, Clara. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing fine. How are you?
Welcome. I'm doing great. I think Michael did an excellent job. A lot of good
Yes,
information in there. You can see the
yes,
power of the mobile app and
yes,
for both
absolutely.
service and sales. So it's nice that that's another tool that people can use and utilize going forward.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned at the beginning, Greg, many users have professional licenses or have the right license. They already have the access to the mobile app. So, but it's not. It's an unknown. Sometimes it's like a secret
Mm.
gem, right? So, but it's a very good tool for mobility. And thank you, Michael, for doing these demos. I think it's going to help a lot of our customers understand that this is also available for them, and they might want to try it out and just use it with their teams that are out. I think it's a very nice way. And we do have some questions, Michael. So if you're ready for the
Okay.
questions,
Yeah.
the first question is this feature available in SAP for SQL?
Yeah, it is. Both mobile apps are available for the SQL version.
Okay.
They are just their core functionality is exactly the same. They have just a little bit of differences
Okay.
regarding the dashboards that we saw,
Mm-hmm.
and and it is the performance is slightly lower on the SQL
Okay.
version,
Okay.
but other than that, it's the exact same app.
Okay, fantastic. So good news for SQL users, and my recommendation is to try it out and see if it works for you and your team. There's another question here saying, how fast is information updated when you create it on the app? How fast is it updated on the desktop version of
Okay,
SAP Business One?
when the app is working in the online mode, it is
Mm-hmm.
real time, so it will instantly synchronize back to SAP.
Okay.
And the time that is going to take, it will depend directly on the internet access that the device has.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. I think that is linked to the next question, which is what happens if our service technicians are servicing some place with bad internet?
Okay, they can use the offline mode that both
Okay.
apps have. So what they
Okay.
are going to do is they are going to set the app as offline mode,
Mm-hmm.
and both devices, well, the device will have a local database
Okay.
installed when
Okay.
you install the app, and it is going to cast the data
Mm-hmm.
for that moment. So they're
Okay.
going to be able to work with the data that has been cached until that moment, and they
Okay.
can create all the documents they want, all of the activities that they have. And when they reach again internet access, they can synchronize all the activities back to SAP.
Oh, fantastic. So when they are in a good internet access space, they need to manually turn it on to online?
Yeah.
Okay. So they
Yes.
need to remember to turn it on into the online mode so that then that updates everything in SAP.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, great. The last question is there something specific technically that we need to install? I think okay, for this, I can take this one if you like, Michael, just because I've been hearing about this in support, and it depends on your deployment option. So if you're hosted with Consensus Cloud or with SaaS, I think that everything should be ready. If you are on-prem or you have your own dedicated environment, you probably need to install a reverse proxy if you don't have it. So if you don't have a reverse proxy in place, that's what you would need. Just because you don't want to expose all your data to the internet, you want to do it in a safe way so that the app connects to this reverse proxy. And if you have any questions regarding that, you can always contact us. You can send an email to support and we can help you with that as well. And I think those were all the questions. Greg, I don't know if you have any question for Michael after the demos.
No, I know Michael has a lot of options out there to use with the mobile app for the handheld,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also, as we've talked about in several other sessions, that we can use the web app too. So there's a lot of
The
things
web
you can do
client,
with the
yeah.
web client that can be used. Um, it may not be as functional as some of the things you're doing on the servicing, but as compact as it is and visible on the handheld that you have. But you do have full capabilities to use the web client, all the functionalities from a handheld device.
Yeah, and that would be also a nice option to just have the web client like on an iPad or even on your phone. So we're working on preparing a session that will show exactly that, how to use the web client on a mobile device and have your reports ready for you, your dashboards that you want to look at when you're on the go, which is another option. But here are the SAP Business One apps for sales and service. So we hope that you enjoyed this session. Please rate it at the end. And there's just one more session to go. And thank you very much to everyone that has connected. Thank you, Michael, for preparing these demos. We really appreciate it. And thank you, Greg, as well.
No, thanks, everybody. Appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your day. We hope you attend the next our next session on My Consensus portal. And then there's also the giveaway coming up for the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, which are cool.
Exactly. For the My Consensus portal, like I mentioned on the previous session, you all have received an email from noreply@consensusintl.com. The subject line is something like you've been given access to content at consensusintl.com. It's an email that probably will go to your spam. Please look for it. It's legitimate and it's from us, and you need to activate your password there just once in order to access the content that we've prepared for you in the My Consensus portal. And we'll be talking about that in the next session. So I hope I'll see you there. Thank you all very, very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.